Thank you. I've actually started the recording now. All right, let's put on an actual track we can zone out to. Let's swagger. Yeah, it's nice and jazzy. We're new at this is not good for school though. Appreciate the scenery? That's a little too suave. We're at school, game. Yeah, that's good for school. Appreciating the moment. Why is that compy? No. Why is that compy staring at you, Fang? I blinked from my blissful stupor and returned to reality. My saddened. How is it bliss if you were saddened? Get out of there, buddy. Don't use strong emotions like that. They're pure. Don't you torture my language. We invented the dictionary for a reason. Well, English doesn't have a standardized. I don't want to hear it. Trish was now looking at me, her purple eyes. It's kind of weird that Trish has purple eyes and purple skin. I'm just saying it's a little much. Yeah, but don't a lot of people, don't a lot of dark-skinned people. Listen, I don't. Today is a day for me being wrong. Okay, let me be wrong. Narrowing as Reed looked as well, the Velociraptor shrugging. I honestly imagine that Reed is physically incapable of actually, like, narrowing his eyes or anything. He's just like, yeah, man. Weed. It's the weed number. Maybe it's on Carve 2. Oh, wait. Maybe it's on Carve 2. Reed then paused. He's looking kind of sad, though. Lose my full government name, then declare my love to a dino, women, and men, and basically anything in between. That is a wide spectrum of things to declare love to, my man. Your insurance policy is not going to like it. I'm not going to like it. I'm going to be very pissed at you. There we go. I averted my gaze from Fang before I became any more noticeable. That's just a weird way to phrase that. But I get what he's going for. And before I could see your reaction, returning my attention back to the welcoming committee as Naomi finished her long-winded explanation. Hey, at least you put an ellipses in just to break up the sentence a little bit. Hey, you know what? This is starting off not bad. Maybe we can even get some good in here. And that's the gist of it. She then approached Olivia. Has she just been hovering around you like a helicopter the whole time? If ever meet aliens, it'd be like meeting foreign people. Both understand they're intelligent beings. The aliens are like very close to looking like, I don't know if this guy's intelligent. And then the other alien is like, God dang, we're really going to start with political humor around here? Oh, I thought we were going to another planet so we could stop it with your political gumption. She then approached Olivia, who obnoxiously began to try and push the... She then approached Olivia and rather obnoxiously began to try... Ooh. I assure you that pushing someone in a wheelchair without consent is functionally the equivalent to just shoving someone who's standing around. It's very rude. Here, I'll take you to the... Before I could step in, Olivia spoke up for herself. Who needs character development flaws that you can work with? Spoke up for herself, head looking to Naomi. Don't. The baryonyx then turned back, placing both her claws to her wheels to push her wheels forward. I can move myself. No, it should be more like, I can move myself. For some reason, the last bit, I'm fucking up there. Naomi paused, and again, for a brief second... Hold on, my brain is making too many assumptions, because this guy writes so specifically. Naomi paused, and again, for a second, I could see a frown bleed into her overly cheery exterior, before quickly reverting. Like, I understand what you're trying to do here, buddy, but you need to tone it down with the fancy pants words. Unless it's like your spiel. I mean, I guess Anon is like, what, 30, 40? He's really pushing up there. He's probably thinking the fancy pants words. Probably read Lord of the Rings on a gaff. Eyes closed with that plastic smile. I wonder if this guy even knows what a plastic smile is. Because to some extent, I wonder, like... There's a lot to what this guy does. Where I wonder if he even knows, if he's just copying phrases because they're how it is described, instead of understanding that a plastic smile. The idea is that plastic looks, generally speaking, fake. Like, it's like a mask, you know? That's the implication thereof. But whatever. Of course! The pink perilous circle then moved to the doorway. Let me open the door for you at least. No, wait. Let me open the door for you at least. No, I feel like she would say, at least let me open the door for you. You know, because she's trying to jab at her. This feels like, if you put it at the end, it feels more apologetic. But if you put it at the beginning, it's like, oh, at least let me, you know. Rap to Jesus. Seeing it from the outside made it much more obvious how fake Naomi's exterior. Yeah, I guess most of the times you ever dealt with Naomi, you were like right in her face. Making me wonder how it had taken me so long to... Granted, she hadn't I mean, the reason you didn't notice Anon is because you were generally speaking not the kind of person to maintain eye contact. You're an introverted little goof, you know? You're not looking people in the eyes that firmly. I made a mistake of liking a Mia post once, double my Medicare premiums already. Well, don't worry about that too long, buddy. They're getting rid of that one. Just a couple of years, and you don't have to worry about your Medicare premiums. But, fuck, it doesn't make... I like this. You know, I really like this. It's something that I've actually kind of had in Ranger in the Fog, is the idea of like, okay, listen. Because in Ranger in the Fog, part of the thing is like, yeah, this might just bring Fang back to life, you know? Make a deal with the Silent Hill demons. You know, fight your inner demons and make them into wish-granting demons. But, to some extent, it's like, but that's the wrong thing to do. You're not supposed to bring people back to life. But it's also the right thing to do. But also would make a big mess. Like, you know, like, yeah, you didn't deserve to die, but you're an asshole. But you didn't deserve to die. But, you know, kind of tone it down a little. You know, you're trying to justify, you know, fuck you and go to hell, but don't die. Ooh. Stomach's having a fun day, but I know what I did. I ate a sandwich and immediately followed up with a pretty heavy cookie. Not a good idea. I'm pushing on my calorie limit, but fuck it. My dietitian tomorrow can just go to hell. I'm doing fine. I'm back on the weight loss track. I'm just happy that I didn't gain weight and I went back on a downward trajectory. You know, it's about the lifestyle. Also, it's Christmas. It's really fucking hard to keep that right. Also, who the fuck makes an appointment with a dietitian 2 days after Christmas? Why did I agree to this? No, that's because of insurance. Let me go excusable. Speaking of which, why the hell was Naomi acting like this, all passive-aggressive? Thinking for a moment, I looked between the pterodactyl and the Parasaurolophilus. The Parasaurolophilus. Were Naomi and Nasser? Were Naomi and Nasser together at this point? I mean, you're a year early. I think the implication was always that they were around with each other for a while, like before the beginning of the year. Regardless, also considering that that Nasser met Olivia, like you might have changed history already. And regardless of if not or if so, did she see Olivia's competition? I mean, it depends on how aggressive Naomi is, right? Because Naomi is a bit of a bitch when it comes to Fang and everything. But that's like after she became girlfriends. Like there was a lot more on the line. But I don't see a reason for Naomi to just stick with Nasser. There's probably another jock or a smart guy in school she can hook herself up with. That's easier than the guy who already has a girlfriend, you know? I think Naomi isn't going to go that way. Like, to keep him, yes, because there's already that big established relationship. Like, by the time Anon shows up, there's a lot to lose. But if they haven't had a relationship, I don't see Naomi's the kind of person to go for. No, fuck this. This is way too much work. I got shit to do, baby. I can find someone who's easier. There's got to be someone easier. Unless, you know, it's true love, and there's actually something going on there. Which is implied that there is, to some extent. You know, some of the extra chapters are like, yeah, there's something there. But that could be after the relationship. Who knows? If we ever ran out of Snoot Game fan week, we still got Half-Life 2 with a Fang mod. I mean, I kind of been thinking about playing Half-Life 2 again. Stevie made a video on it, though, so I'm not doing it, because that guy, he always makes the best version of all possible videos. Maybe I was overthinking things, but if Naomi was trying a Machiavellian bullshit on Olivia for whatever reason, then I would have to step in and stomp on those ambitions. I mean, wasn't that your plan with Fang anyway? This isn't anything new. I wasn't going to let it become a problem. Not this time. Well, so far, I will say this chapter's starting off a lot stronger. I wonder if you got a proofreader. Like, this goof aside, it's not bad, and we're not using the overused words too much. We haven't had a lot of snout slapping my face. I still think it's going to be very, very hard to beat this one, though. Looking up as she looked up remains an unbeatable contestant. Oof. How do you ever best that? I don't know. I don't want to think about it. It's terrifying. It's a line for the ages. A new low. But things are looking up. So let us get out of the bottom of the barrel and dig our way out. But not this time. I mean, if Olivia is strong enough to mention this, I think, you know, you would probably pick up on her doing the work before she got anywhere. She'd have to soften Olivia up first, you know. Olivia wheeled herself forward. Nasa stepping aside. The pterodactyl's gold and stop! Anon, please. I'm gonna write an Anon Nasser fanfic at this rate. Stop. Desperately trying to find the baryonyx. Her eyes? Well, they're in her face. Or snout, I guess you would say. Mufasa sister paused for a moment before continuing on, disappearing within. I mean, the pausing thing. This is a fair time to do it. I'm not going to complain if the pause is fair. It's just when it's a lot and it's weird. disappearing within. Oh, into the building. As Naomi ceased holding the door open, leaving Nasser and me outside. You're just gonna let her walk off? What does? He really does want to date Nasser, doesn't he? It's just like, man, Nasser, now that we're alone and your ex-girlfriend is gone, how about both of your girlfriends are gone, Nasser? Have you ever thought of a man in your life? Praise be the Space King. Gently, I put... Oh. Turning to Nasser, I noticed his signature, something is bothering Nasser. I mean, he wasn't the most emotionally developed person in the world. Brows slanted and eyes peering down, a frown etched on his snout. Why is there a frown on his mouth? Listen, much of the sentence is fine, even if you're kind of falling back to the usual. But why is his mouth frowning? You frown with your eyes. That's where your brows are. The brow frown, you know? Gently, I mean, I guess what he's going for, but I would say his snout is scrunching. Because scrunch is a fun verb. Gently, I put a claw on his shoulder, the pterodactyl blinking as he registers my presence. This is it, Anon. Hit him with the wedding ring. Anon. Nasser managed to look up, a multitude of emotions on his face. Is she happy? It was a loaded and broad question. I like how we started off with like, the gang, and then the gang just evaporated from the entire story. We focus on these guys again. Someone doodled a frowny face on his suit. Hell yeah, baby. It really does feel like this guy doesn't know what words are sometimes. It's fine. We'll move on. It was a broad and loaded question, yet I did my best to answer it. I'm not gonna say it's ever been easy for Olivia, but I smile. She still draws, she still likes swimming, still likes the raptor-shaped dino nuggets. I guess I'd say she's happy. He paused. I just didn't... I mean, this is for interruptions as far as I know. Maybe it's for the other... Oh, fuck cares. I just didn't... trailed off as if unsure what to say. I would complain about this, but I have written this myself quite recently. It's alright, Nasa. I was about to say something like don't beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up. You should, if you're gonna say this kind of quotation, you should include the whole sentence. Because otherwise, it just looks goofy. Before hearing Trish's, why is she around? This time, closer as I pictured the trio now halfway up the staircase. Wait, what? Were they already... I had the impression they were, like, walking past. Although, I guess they just ignored her. Oh, he just looked away. They were still there. What the fuck? And your telescopic eyes lack some peripheral vision, it seems. Oh, it's got telescopic ears, excuse me. Not what telescopic means, but you know what I mean. That's the point. Looks like the compy's friend with your brother, Nasser. I could hear the Triceratops brazenly speak with disgust. Fang making sounds. Like, looks like the compy's friends with your brother, Fang. Shit. Not wanting to turn around, remembering that Naomi and Olivia were headed. Not exactly comfortable with the prospect of leaving the latter alone. The company of the foreman nodded to the doorway, urging Nasser to move. Maybe make that towards the doorway. Anyway, let's get to the principal's office. I think classes are gonna start soon. Oh, right. Nasser nodded, as if he just remembered. The two of us quickly entering inside. Again, the verbiage is always a little off. Like, why entering? Go in. You don't enter inside. You quickly enter or you go inside. This is like, fucking hell. What is it again? I think it's irriteren aan. Je ergert je aan or you are irritated. You are annoyed or you are annoyed by or you are irritated. Or something like that. It's like people mix that one up too. But you can't do this. This is not how this verb works. Is why it bugs me. Walking into the familiar blue lacquer hallways of Volcano High. Vines and vegetation growing over to either give a sense of natural beauty or natural decay. Aren't they like mostly plastic? I thought the impression was they were like mostly... No. I don't know. It depends, I guess. They were plastic on the metro, at least. I think the gardening class does make them... They are real. Although I always got the impression they were doing it outside. You know, where logically you could grow them, whereas inside they'd be plastic, because good luck growing them. Unless they're very hardy, I guess. I don't care at the moment. All I was glad about was that I was out of earshot. The unfamiliar trio, now murky shapes waiting behind the glass. I closed my eyes, letting out a silent sigh behind my snout. No, it just wasn't the time. You have like a year or two, buddy? Go for it. I need to prepare myself mentally for that inevitability. Stop that. Get out of there. Nasser was still quiet. Not exactly being the best guy. Not that I needed one. The two of us arriving at our destination. I feel like you could put that one between, like, between those dashes to, like, or like, brackets. I feel like that's an aside more than a comma statement. I spotted Olivia and Naomi at the door of Principal Spears' office, the baryonic sporting a distant expression on her faces. Naomi droned on in a cheerful manner. Oh, we all know that vibe. And it's no wonder she's the principal in the number one school, Natural Beauty. I bet you just can't wait to meet him. Oh, my throat's so dry. Ugh. Spread that fluid around a little bit. Ah. She then noticed our approach. Oh, just in time, Anon. Naomi then opened the door. Principal Spears is ready to see you both. Get out of my life, Naomi. Gosh. Turning to Nasser, I gave him one last reassuring pat on the shoulder, but felt no response to it. His gaze still on Olivia's back as she wheeled herself into the office. Naomi closing the door behind us. That's a weird way to put that. Like, this is why you break up sentences so that actions can implicitly take place. This implies that you give him a pat on the back, and you're both inside the room, because otherwise, you never moved in, right? You give us... You know what I mean. There's no space for the implicit action to take place. The office is just as I remembered, cramped but well furnished, decorated with trophies and cabinets, as well as a hulking Neanderthal, elegantly dressed and bespeckled. I would say bespeckled. It's funner. Standing up from his seat. Principal Spears, I've missed you. You're not beating the allegations, Anon, not at this rate. You better unman up. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. His demeanor seemed serious, with a stern look and gray-shaded glasses, obscuring his eyes as he approached. He doesn't approach. The desk just slides aside when he does it. He just moves right through it. I felt Olivia tense up, and I couldn't blame her, even as I felt a little unnerved at the sight. So he could just walk around the desk, feeling so much smaller underneath Spears' gaze, despite our even height. I mean, it's because he's slouching. He's still taller than he went on. I don't like that he's as tall. That's just goofy. And unlike him athletic, it seems. He likes his men broad and capable of snapping his spine. I mean, we all know that mood. We all know that mood. Anon, Olivia, he simply said, his voice deep and gruff. Arms behind his back, as both remained stock still. Spears then gave a small, heartwarming smile. Welcome to our lovely school. We've been anticipating your arrival for quite some time. Yeah, I imagine his parents shopped around a little bit, you know. The two of us nod, Olivia slowly more slowly and reluctantly than I, as Spears gestured to the two black chairs. Have a seat. He turned to Olivia. I may also move the chair if you wish to remain in your wheelchair. Again, I feel that he would know that most wheelchair people are not going to fucking bother, because moving chairs is annoying. Listen, here's a tip. Put two chairs opposite each other and try to move from one to the other. Fucking sucks. Don't bother. Unless that's a really good chair and it's got heating and massage. You're not doing it. You're not fucking doing it. That's for people with legs. That's for you walkies to worry about. Jackass. Come on, turn to Olivia with all this drinking. I'll stay in the wheelchair. Olivia answered. Very well. Picking up the chair to give Olivia space to roll beside me as I sat down. Two of us now looking to Principal Spears to return to his place, resting both of his gigantic hands against it. I thought he was like leaning on it. Also, isn't this the perfect time to have him like huck that chair or like lift it with the greatest of ease? You know, imply that Spears is a big, strong man. Before we begin, I must ask you something regarding your old school. Is Misha still teaching kindergarten? I paused for a moment. Coach Mikael? Kindergarten? Little does Adam know, Spears is an omnipresence principal. He's the one that connects all the universes. Every universe, there's only one Spears. He's always the same. I like that idea. Who needs a variety of him? Who needs a different Spears? He's just perfect as he is. Even Olivia seemed shocked by that, knowing the effects of the hulking Ankylosaurus, as I found myself blurting out, "Those poor kids." Spears paused before bursting out into a loud, guffawing laughter. I'll take that as a no. Spears doesn't have a loud, guffawing laughter. He's a very polite chuckle. He wears a suit, even if he's barefoot. Nope. He's a boxing coach now. Taught me for 7 years before I left. I've always complained about these for a while, but we need to establish who's talking, so you can do that fine, you know. Don't overburden your sentences with too much detail. Spears looked pleasantly surprised. That's incredible. He would not talk with an exclamation point. Spears is very demure and low-key. He doesn't overstate his emotions. But I should contact him again. The Neanderthal seemed to reminisce, although it may not sound articulate. If you include in a comma, this also does not get an uppercase letter. Neither with this one. Also not here. Yeah, this guy just doesn't seem to understand that quotations are not... They're not grammatically different sentences. They don't work like that. Although it may not sound articulate, Miss Shackles has a PhD in literature. It is mother tongue, though. Coach Mikhail, literature PhD. Never thought those two concepts could be in the same sentence. Ha! Enough about that. What I wish to know is how you two feel. First, like, this and Ferris, like, why is everyone in this fucking universe like, hey, it's been like 1 day. How do you feel about school? Can you go to a school in this universe and people don't ask you that day 1 or day 2? Ugh. Like, the water doesn't go where it's needed. I peered at Olivia, she peered at me. Before I looked, Jesus Christ, man! Fuck you, stop that! A bit jarring, I answered honestly. Which is to be expected. It's the first day and all. But, I feel like you should get this since away and just make it a dot, comma, like a semicolon or something. Because we're doing conversational English. And most people don't necessarily include linking words like that. I then say the next part with a bit of a grumble. Would have been better if the other students didn't stare at us so much. The Neanderthal frowned. I see. Although it's natural they are curious, seeing as you were new to school. If it continues past a week onward, his hands tightened. Notify me. What? This guy doesn't get this. Okay, we're just gonna have to accept this guy does not get Spears. Okay? He just doesn't. Like, they stared a little bit. I get that he's probably reading into it a bit more, but, like, Spears doesn't threaten violence like this to his students. He cares, he wants to teach, but he doesn't take your shit. There has not been shit for him to not take. So why is he being a jerk? Like, I get it, that's the gag, but the gag works because he's sincere about it, and it's played straight because it's done at an appropriate time. It's not a comedy bit, it's just how he does it. And that's why it's funny. I used to study Russian literature. Still have nightmares about it. Brrr. Those poor students. He hasn't done anything! Spears then released his fist. Also, he doesn't do this. He doesn't do this. Spears, again, is demure, reserved, polite. He doesn't make action. He doesn't display the violence beforehand. He shouts, yes. That's like the most we realistically get. And he throws a door at like a situation where he's like, you should not be here, and you definitely shouldn't be smoking. You know, the double fuck up. Principal Spears then released his fist, looking at Olivia. Tense frown replaced. Yeah, I can't give him a fucking snout, can you, you dipshit? No snouts on this man. Tense frown replaced with a gentle smile. You know, you already implied that he's loosening his attention because he released his fists. Like, let the action breathe. And how about you, Olivia? How's all screw up in a... She's barely been to class. I don't even know if you're on the first floor or not. If you are, like, nothing can have been observed. Olivia paused, realizing she had been asked for an answer before responding. What? Yes. Yes, author. Usually when people ask you something, they are asking for an answer. Like, rhetorical questions exist, but what the hell are you talking about? Ooh. You know, we started off so well. You're out of school. She paused again. Yeah, Olivia, please, stop. I mean, go. I always said something about an elevator, but she said a lot of other stuff too, and I just kind of blend it together. Melding is more for, like, flesh monsters and the like. You know what I mean. Too much stuff by the sound of it, Principal Spears sighing. You have my sympathies. As much as prepare me to admit it, that girl... Why is he so mean? He then opened a drawer. His large hand, his big meaty hands, dragging out a key card connected to his strap. Handing it to Olivia as the bear. Why are you phrasing it like this? Why are you describing as Olivia and then as the... This is so weird. Why aren't you just using she? Why aren't you just using a... This is why pronouns exist. So that you don't do that. This is for the elevator. Simply touch it against the scanning. We go. You have fucking keycard elevators? At St. Hammond, 3 years from now, they have a fucking key elevator. You got a key card? Dang! Olivia quietly thanked him, pocketing it. She already accepted it, so why would you double up on that? Like, again, just you don't need all that. You're doubling down in funny ways. You could also use your benefits card. Why do you need a benefits card? She gets free food for being... What? Dang! I gotta lose my legs when I go to high school. I'm already done with high school. I can't even benefit from losing my legs. All over again. You can also use your benefits card at the cafeteria. I'm sure that the red everything on the tray will be free. Why is he emphasizing it? What is so special about that? Also, quick tip if you're using... the thing about the way AO3 interprets markup text is that it will always include a space. I don't know if you can remove that space by just editing the text a little bit, but you should be careful because it usually puts a space next to marked up text. Again, I don't know if that's just how it handles the text internally in code, or if that's added so you can remove it later by going into the text. I don't know. I just don't know. I never bothered. I just include the makeup in any successive, what's it called again? Diacritics? No. I forgot what a I forgot what they are. No, I want to know about the fucking the thing, not menstruation. Ugh. The full stop, thank you. Punctuation, that's the word I'm looking for. Punctuation. Ugh. Is that really hard, Safi? That made us instantly freeze up our eyes wide as we took a moment to register. At the register. Free food? Yeah, because the only defining trait of our characters is they love food. Everyone loves food. Everyone is defined by their love for food. Anna loves food. Olivia loves food. They're not a character trait. They're just everyone loves food. Everyone's gonna rob the fucking cafeteria now, Spears. Good job. Spears nodded. Indeed, so abuse that. Abuse that privilege? God. Why is everyone acting more out of character the longer we go? Olivia and I looked at one another, unable to hide our surprised joy. At the moment, as the ends of our snouts curl... I'm gonna need a hot minute.